How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another video of Miguel Super Gaming, and today we will be continuing part 2 out of I don't know, like maybe 3? No, around like 5. But so the top 15 scariest paranormal moments in Ghost Adventures. I love that show. I talked about it in the last episode, part 1. So we continued off in number 11, so 36 minutes and 4 seconds, so I'm making it separate parts. So let's get right to it.
God. I think it was like 7 feet tall, legs bent backwards, and when we started yelling Dave.
Wait.
Victims have been unable to leave. Number 11. Pray your God.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it was like 7 feet tall, legs bent backwards, and when we started yelling Dave, it looked over with piercing white eyes.
Oh.
Of all the people who are neglected, there's nothing more horrific than neglecting the mentally handicapped. Lechtworth Village in New York was a home for the mentally handicapped, and it gained the nickname of the Village of Secrets. The facility was badly funded, leaving many kids unsupervised, unclothed, and barely fed. There was also an issue with overcrowding within the facility's 130 buildings. ABC conducted a special on Lechtworth, which eventually led to reform and the facility's closing. Zach interviewed a man named David, who has explored the abandoned property several times. He recollects about a time he and some friends were walking through Lechtworth when his friends started yelling to him. When David got back to them, they said a very tall creature with white eyes was walking slowly behind him. Although David never saw it, he said on his way home that night, his radio cut out, and a voice began speaking through the radio. Zach very well could have come into contact with this entity later in the night, while alone in one of the underground tunnels. Zach begins asking questions into his digital recorder. As he is reviewing the recording, he hears a disembodied voice with his own ears. Aaron also picks up voices on his recorder as he investigates the morgue, one which isn't too keen on him talking. Meanwhile, Zach can feel a dark entity following him throughout the tunnels, and he keeps his recorder going. He then captures what could be the giant David and his friends encountered, and it says something truly disturbing.
And after hearing it, this investigation changes on a dime.
Oh. Oh, snap.
Alexa, play Facebook.
Sorry, gotta pause. Okay, we're back.
The voice sounds almost demonic, as if it is a collection of the dark energy the former patients felt during their time at Lechtworth. A truly unnerving experience for the crew. Lechtworth is a lesson as to why we should never turn our backs on those who need us the most. Number 10. The Tate Residence.
Whoa.
I'm getting angry.
Whoa.
Come get me.
Hollywood may be fame and glamour, but it's also full of dark history. The most infamous has to be what the Manson family did on August 9th, 1969, taking the lives of 5 people. The most infamous victim, Sharon Tate, was 8 months pregnant at the time. Ghost Adventures managed to secure a lockdown at the David Oman house, where the events took place about 200 feet away. Apart from these events, psychics have also stated they feel a presence of a Native American on horseback, buried somewhere on the property. The dark energy from the crime now appears to manifest itself on the property.
My hamster's
and
doing
the spirits
something, I'm
there
sorry.
are not friendly. Right from the get-go, Nick experienced sharp pains in his stomach and feelings of sadness the moment their van ventured up the street to the house. For the remainder of the episode, the spirits appeared to attach themselves to him tightly. As the crew geared up, the equipment techs hear bangs from the bottom floor bedroom.
Nick was the first one on... Oh, I heard that.
As Zach, Nick, and Aaron proceed
But
to
Nick
the basement
got possessed,
to
remember
investigate,
last video?
all 3 heard people talking from below them. Once entering the downstairs bedroom, they begin to conduct a spirit box session. Nearly the moment the device was turned on, a voice came out of the speaker saying, "Hey Nick, Shortly after, Nick lifted his shirt and found a red mark on his chest, complaining it was burning. He then quickly leaves the house, feeling distressed. He later had to leave again when his stomach started hurting again. Zach asked him to go down to the basement and grab a meter in order to see if something was attached to him. Hesitantly, Nick complies, and upon entering the bedroom, he feels as if he can't leave and can hear knocks all around him. He then sees a white call of light preventing him from leaving the room. He starts aggressively asking one of the crew to come get him, even kicking his camera he left on the floor.
I'm panicking, man. Come on, sir.
My dad's birthday
As Nick
balloon
is
scared me.
experiencing these strange events, the cameras capture several orbs and mist figures around him. Several prior investigators now refuse to return to the home. Out of fear they will be seriously injured or oppressed by the spirits there. And it would seem best if the Ghost Adventures crew refrained from returning as well. Number 9. Nick's unexpected surgery.
This figure seems to be sitting next to the patient, as a doctor or nurse or someone trying to help would be positioned. And if you look very closely, it is mapping a head, a neck, shoulders, a left arm. And the most fascinating part is the right arm, which appears to be moving very fast, grabbing the IV bag stand and then working on the patient.
One of the craziest pieces of equipment used by paranormal investigators is the Kinect from the Xbox. The Kinect uses infrared dots in order to map out where a person is, able to capture facial features and map up to 6 people at a time. This piece
I used to have a
equipment
Kinect, but it
captured
broke.
something phenomenal during the investigation
The camera didn't work no
of
more.
Tuolumne General Hospital in Sonora, California. While Billy and Jay were
My
setting up
God.
equipment and waiting for the others to arrive, the Kinect
The
camera was
Kinect?
placed in a room with a dummy placed on the bed. To everyone's shock, the Kinect picked up a figure with a neck, head, and arms, apparently working on the makeshift patient.
Who is that? Whoa! Oh my God!
As the trio enters the room where the event occurred, both EVP recorders suddenly are drained of power, despite just having new batteries put in them. As an experiment, the crew decided
Yeah, I
to
saw
replace
that.
the dummy with Nick to see if anything would happen. This ended up being one of the biggest payoffs of the show. Nick felt strange while lying down. His eyes began
Why
to
always
water,
Nick?
strange energy washing over him. Suddenly, the figure reappears on the Kinect and begins to work on Nick. This causes him to retract in pain and stand up, walking away while holding his stomach. Nick retreats back to the nerve center, still distressed and shaking. Whatever is left in this hospital has not ceased their desire to help those in distress and continues to use their skills. Number 8. The Wrath of Zozo.
We're in there, guys.
I hear that. No, have to pause you guys again.
There's someone
Okay,
in here with me.
we're back.
Don't let this comical name fool you, because it might just lead to a life of torment. Zozo
that
is a demon
is
able to
scary.
appear anywhere through a Ouija board. It has become a popular game for people to try and contact the demon, despite its reputation of causing
It's getting
horrific
cold.
trauma on those who do so. Ghost Adventures took it upon themselves to delve into the darkness of Zozo and contacted the Evans family, who claimed to be oppressed by the malevolent force. The sincerity behind the couple's stories is creepy enough, but nothing could prepare the crew and viewers for what happened during this episode. The Evans family are so traumatized, they nearly refused to re-enter the house, but it was clear there was still an attachment to them. As a way of playing with fire, the crew used a Ouija board to conjure Zozo, which seemed to work too well. The wife, Kathleen, became increasingly distressed throughout the entire ordeal, causing her to leave the house several times. At one point, she re-enters only for everyone to point out her belt is undone, something she was unaware of. After Kathleen leaves a second time, her husband Darren goes outside to check on her, only to find she has wandered off. Zach and Aaron joined Darren to look for her, while Nick, Jay, and Billy remained at the house. Nick went back inside to investigate a loud noise when something chilling occurred.
We're in there, guys.
As he went went to the second floor. He noted how strange the atmosphere was in the house. At that moment, several dogs in the neighborhood begin to howl, echoing into the night. Let this episode be a lesson to those believing these games are simply child's play, that they can have drastic consequences. Number 7. The Restless Prisoners.
Well, guys, I'm gonna leave you guys here at number 7.
Number 7.
So we're gonna start off at number 7 next time. This is probably the scariest thing I've ever done in my channel. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Notification Squad. Remember, hashtag Notification Squad. And then put what you were going to say, because I want to know if I have one. And may the gaming be with you.